Hello, Lights Out Ace here with another Eternal video. And today I'm going to be playing my baby, Icaria Blue. First article I ever wrote for RNGEternal.com was about Icaria Blue back in closed beta. And here's my take on it now. We still have some Permafrost in the deck because of the ubiquity of Stone Scar. Like, it's very good against Champion of Chaos, pretty much the best answer there. Although it's at its worst in this deck compared to any other deck because you often have a lot of relic weapons and you'd like to hit your opponent's face with them, which you can't do if they have a permafrosted unit on the field. So you need to be a little more patient when you have a weapon and they have a stunned unit and wait until you get off a Harsh Rule. So basically this is a hard control deck utilizing a lot of relic weapons with a Rise to the Challenge tutor engine and a couple of Icarias. Generally you win every game by tutoring or drawing Icaria, buffing your next weapon to be absurd, and then crushing them with a 9/6 Auric Runehammer or a 14/14 Sword of the Sky King and such. So we're going to jump into a few ranked games here. This deck has lost a lot of its power that it used to have because it doesn't have inevitability against all the mid-range decks anymore, since Stone Scar Burn can often burn it out from super high health totals. But that deck isn't as popular as it used to be. The armor gain from relic weapons helps a lot, and there's a lot more Rakano and Queen decks now, where Lightning Storm and relic weapons and Vanquish are quite good. So I think it's still definitely a fine choice on the ladder if this is your sort of thing. Oh hey, they fixed the last season's rankings. I just restarted Eternal and I was still rank 1000 then, so this must have just happened. Alright, look at our hand here. It is okay, not spectacular. Looks like it might be the Mirror. If so, this is great because you have Staff of Stories and Rise to the Challenge, which are our two most important cards. Looks like it's some sort of Armory variant, perhaps? So we're just going to take some beats from this guy for a while. Generally, these type of decks don't have very many units at all, so this Harsh Rule is going to be quite bad. So if it comes to it, I don't mind Harsh Ruling a 2-1 away. By the time their Icaria comes, we will definitely have enough removal for it. When fetching power, you have to make sure that you can hit triple fire, triple justice. We're one justice short. If you draw C power, keep that in mind. Alright, that's the perfect time for a Lightning Storm to come. I don't want my opponent to have the Artisan in play when I play Staff of Stories, because then it'll die to a single torch, whereas now it's going to take either them playing their own relic weapon, which you can then attack back and kill, or multiple torches. And I don't care about casting Rise to the Challenge yet. There's going to be plenty of time for that later. So generally you don't want to play the first relic weapon in these sort of mirrors, but since it's so early, I don't think you'll be able to kill this. And since I already have a couple of ways to attack back and kill weapons, I feel okay sort of starting the war here before my opponent is ready, hopefully. Yeah, and it pays off big time. If they had a Starsteel Daisho, or like these had both hit a Auric Runehammer or a Sword of Icaria and they could kill this, I would have been in really bad shape. But just the upside is just so high if I can hit it. And there's my third Justice, so I'm just going to go ahead and get Icaria here. Thanks for the game. Okay, they're just making fun of me for taking a long time. So I was going to demonstrate how you don't just slam Icaria right away because she'll die to a weapon, and she's basically just another relic weapon that boosts your next weapon a lot. But my opponent did play something, so now I get to play Icaria. Don't have to wait at all. It's obviously better to play Icaria sooner so that you can hopefully draw your buffed, not always weapon, your buffed card sooner. But if it's just hitting your opponent in the face, it's generally not worth it. Because like if they had another Runehammer here, then she would just die. And if I just attacked their face, then she died for no reason. Anyway, Lightning Strike is super, super good here. Now if they have a weapon to try and kill this, I can just Lightning Strike. And I could have played Auric Runehammer to go for the win, but if they have any armor gain from another weapon, that won't work. But they just have nothing. Right, so normally matches like that are show in patience, but our opponent just didn't have anything, and they played things at all the right times for us, so I didn't need to demonstrate any patience. So sometimes you just slam things on curve and it works out. With the new promo cards that are in the midst of being obtained right now, like no one has a full playset yet. They just came out. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Like maybe I should be playing the couple of Throne Wardens that I'm able to in a deck like this. Maybe I should try that card out in Armory. I think there's definitely going to be a deck with the Fire card. I'm forgetting the name, but some sort of OTK type deck. But I think that'll probably end up being a little too fragile to be a tier 1 deck. And then the new time card, the Fixed Secret Pages, is just obviously great, and 4-faction control is perhaps poised to make a comeback if it can find a way to fix its Stone Scar Burn matchup. It's basically just a Combre deck that always wins control mirrors because you're splashing Azendel's Gift. Now I'm going to grab Second Justice here for Harshul. Like sometimes I would hold this until I knew which of Third Fire or Third Justice I needed, but since I need the power, I'm going to play it right away, and then when I'm picking, I'm going to pick to what's in my hand as opposed to what I might draw. And I already had double Primal for Wisdom, so I just want double Justice for Harsh Rule. Ooh, that'd be a really good target for a Vanquish. Haha! Well, I didn't put that card in my deck to not draw it. I love it when that happens. Makes me look really smart. This guy's deck torched. If I had a 4th power, I'd hold that. In case I drew a Sword of Icaria, I could get a 2-for-1. But since I only have 3 power, I'm going to Wisdom anyways. I just want to make sure I can Wisdom without getting hit. Ooh, I didn't draw power off that. That's bad. One of the few times Seek power is worse than a basic Sigil. Could also be a banner, I suppose. But in a 3-faction deck, you want all of the 3-faction sources you can get, and Seek power is really the only one if you're not in time. Alright, but we have a power drop for next turn, and we're looking okay against Rakano. Like, we have a Lightning Strike from this Runehammer. We have Starsteel Daisho for the next threat. And I could Wisdom here. And just take 4. Which I'm gonna do, actually. Finding more power is just so important. And it's not like it's a Sword of Icaria, like they're not getting Warcry off it. I'm much more inclined to just take damage if it's not giving them future value. Alright, it's depleted, but we'll take it. Would have been nice to be able to Lightning Strike plus Wisdom this turn, but we make do. Our opponent's hand must be really bad. So you can also get greedy here and take this hit, Wisdom, hoping for a undepleted power, like a Sigil, so this will come in, and then Daisho it. But I don't think we need to be that greedy. Like, we already have next turn's power drop. We have removal lined up for any things they might play. If they do have another relic weapon, well, then we can Daisho it down. Okay, well, I think that here I'm actually just going to Staff on an empty board. Always a strong play. I love Staff of Story so much. There's not much good card drawing in Eternal right now. Staff and Wisdom are both really, really good. I'm happy with the ones we have. Ooh, another Runehammer. Okay. Well, so I'm moderately punished, but even if I had held up Torch, like, you can't Torch Runehammer, so it's okay. Good use out of this Daisho. So maybe this isn't Rakano Warcry, and it's actually some sort of Armory deck with a bad draw. Like, they're just not drawing the Shadow, which would make sense. Like, this is Armory. Okay. Armory with Champion of Glory. Rakano mid-range might be the proper nomenclature. Double Torch is kind of sad, but that's still a 2-for-1, and my Sword of the Sky King will probably see it now. Okay. Gonna Wisdom here in case I find a seat. Because if I had just played Power and Wisdom at end of turn and then I drew a Seat, I would be staring at this awkward Sword of the Sky King with a 7 out of 8 and been really sad. So just because it's a fast spell doesn't mean you have to play it on your opponent's turn. Alright, they have double fire now. Alright. So the question here is, do I want to act first? Again, Relic Weapon Mirrors. It's always kind of dangerous to act first. But since this has 8 health, like, I can't imagine any weapon they have beating this. And also they just die next turn. The upside is so high. And even if they do have, like, a torch plus a relic weapon of some sort to kill it, like, then we just Runehammer it down. And we're just in such a good position. Like, we have lethal in 2 different ways. Like, we have lethal through... Okay, maybe not through Furnace Mage, because I don't have enough power to Lightning Storm. So now the question becomes, how do we want to optimize our chances of winning next turn? So I could Torch the Mage and then Runehammer his face, but that seems like the worst of all worlds. The options are really between use Eye of Winter to lock down this Furnace Mage, and then pass, hoping to Harsh Rule Runehammer next turn. Or I could just double Lightning Storm and hit him in the face right now. Yeah. And 1 power short, just winning with that line. So I'm going to go for what I think is the safest one, which is lock this down. End of turn, Torch face, and then repower up, and then Harsh Rule Runehammer. I don't think anything that they can do can break that up. And I was wrong. Throne Warden to gain 4. Okay, well, we're going to save the torch then. And I'm just going to break the Aegis and Devil Lightning Storm. So we weren't able to win the game, so we're just going to switch into grindy mode. We're going to use Eye plus Harsh Rule to gain a bunch of card advantage and then finish off with the Auric Runehammer. But I'm not going to play the hammer just dry. Oh, jeez. That is 5. This torch doesn't kill it. Yeah, I'm going to take 5. Throne Warden is good. So that's why you don't Runehammer not killing anything. They can just kill it right back. Alright, so now we have lethal again if they just play units. If they play a relic weapon, we can torch it down most likely, but then we won't have lethal anymore. Ooh, a 6/5 flail. If they were playing Shadow and Smuggler's Stash, that'd be a really good stash target. Okay, this looks promising. But if they have a torch, this all gets broken up. Nope, okay. Well, that was an interesting game. It's an interesting deck by Kelsier. Just a Rakano Armory variant. Rakano with Harsh Rule, PogChamp. I assume that their hand at the end of that game is just filled with Harsh Rules and Vanquishes and such things that never had any targets because we never played a single unit. So we are missing Justice, so I think that's enough to disqualify this hand. Also only has 2 power, and you really like to see 3 or 4. Oh, yeah, great. All of our factions, swords for small units, Vanquish for big ones. If they're control, we just start sorting them down and stacking up a bunch of war cries. The only thing that can make this hand better is if I drew an Island's Favor. Alright, so here we have double Justice, double Fire, single Primal. So I think I'm just going to grab a Primal straight away. So Island Saver is so good because then you can Relic Weapon and have protection from Torch or Furnace Mage. So maybe this is actually playing more Island Favors. I just have 2 right now. it's perfectly fine me trading this sword for this Rakana Outlaw. Like, trading 1 for 1 is what I want to do, and then I even get some bonus value with the Warcry. And then if these Warcries from these swords are hitting weapons, then those weapons are going to be bigger and be able to get 2 for 1s or 3 for 1s. Oh yeah, very nice. See, he struck first in the relic weapon battle. Don't do that. So despite the fact that I just played Seek on turn 1 without regards for getting to Icaria influence, I just naturally drew it. Must be nice. Yeah, see, now they have to use a torch. Yeah, this sword's 2 for 1 them and got a Warcry. It's hard to win the game if your opponent is getting such extreme value on you. And I'm just going to get Justice because I have all the influence I need, and I want to leave Primal Sigils in my deck for Eilyn's favor. And again, not just slamming face with Runehammer. This isn't an aggro deck. We have to get the most value possible out of all our cards, especially when our opponent, we know that they have 5 spells in hand. Alright, so now I have to decide between vanquishing that or Runehammering it. So if I vanquish, Runehammer kills more things. If I Runehammer and they don't have a torch to immediately kill it, I get to like start pressuring them. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'll find targets for Vanquish later on. Like, Icaria Blue tends to strand cards like Hammer of Might in the opponent's hand a lot. So, like, eventually they'll play a unit and slap a hammer on it, and then we'll just Vanquish it out. And this way, like, since they're missing on power, like, maybe their hand is clunky, has a bunch of weapons, or has a bunch of Soulfire Drakes or something, and we can actually just, like, start clunking them for 5. Just because your control deck doesn't mean you don't want to kill your opponent. It just means you don't have to. Yeah, and they're in the midst of super clunk, it looks like, here. If they play a Rakana Outlaw, I'm just going to Lightning Storm it and continue 5ing them. If they obviously don't have Torch, they would have used it. Alright, well, this is kind of awkward because I can't kill that. But, well, I mean, I can kill it, but I have to give up my weapon to do so. They had a torch. They must have drawn that torch for their turn and didn't want to play the Valkyrie out into my weapon before because it was their only unit, and they're about to hammer it up, and then we're going to vanquish it. So the question here is whether I want to rise for Icaria or for Sword of the Sky King. And we can see from our Warcry that the next unit weapon we're going to draw is Valkyrie Enforcer. So if I Icaria, I'm just going to get a 9/9 Valkyrie Enforcer, and it's just going to get vanquished right away. Because like, this deck always strands Vanquish in the opponent's hand. So I'm just going to get Sword of the Sky King here. Like, even they'll have like 2 Vanquishes for the Icaria and another one for the Valkyrie Enforcer. Like, there's just no other use for Vanquish against us. So knowing that Icaria's boost would be wasted, so to speak, on a unit and not a relic weapon, I'm just going to get Sword of the Sky King. Which also kills them in 2 hits if we draw like Harshul or another Lightning Storm, or they put a hammer on this and we can wipe it out. And we can just kill them in 2 hits with Sword of the Sky King. And it's going to like 3 for 1 them even if they start drawing units and burn spells. Although I guess Soulfire Drake would be good. Yeah, okay. Deep Forge Plate, going to vanquish that. This is all playing out exactly according to plan. So eventually they're going to whiff on a unit, perhaps even this turn, and then we're going to sword them, Harsh Ruler follow-up, sword them again. I just love Sword of the Sky King's animation. So I can't think of a card that gets them out of this. Alright, and they just have nothing. Alright. Feels good, man. I'm feeling good. I like this deck a lot. So we do technically have all of our faction to that Seek, but our hand is just mono expensive hands, so mulligan. Leviticus played Stonescar Queen at the last chance qualifier. Or Queen Jito, or I think it was actually like actual Queen Jito. It's like the most aggressive deck possible. Alright, this is getting kind of awkward. We need some justice quick. Whew. Ask and you shall receive. I'm just on a roll with the calls here today. Hey, and that's even the second justice, so I can Runehammer something next turn if I want to. Looks like it's the mirror. Either that or some strange Fire Primal Burn brew. But no, it's the mirror and they're mana screwed. So, okay. Even against a power screwed opponent, I'm still not going to just slam Runehammer, because they could easily just have Torch or something. Yeah, and there's the pause. So, like, if I play this Runehammer, it does 4 damage and it gets Torch. Oh, never mind. This is Felnscar. I don't know why I was thinking of the mirror. No one plays Icaria blue. I mean, except me, so I'm thinking about it. Yeah, okay, so they're playing Felnscar. So, Runehammer is good. It kills Statuary Maiden. In combination with Torch or Lightning Storm, it kills Steward of the Past, Fell Bloodcaster, Blackstack Harbinger, all that kind of stuff. This Vanquish is like pretty dead. I have to hope that they draw Champion of Chaos. I'm not gonna bother spending 2 cards on this now. Like, they're nowhere near 7 power, and they've been missing drops, so like I'll just take 2, whatever. And then if they play another unit, well, probably when they play another unit, I can't imagine they can just sit there if they're missing power. So when they play another unit, then we'll just Harsh Rule them both away. If they don't play units, they're just gonna discard a hand size, and like making me spend cards to get 2-for-1s is better than 2-for-1ing yourself. 0-for-1ing yourself by discarding. Also, if we get the Sword of the Sky King, there is pretty much no way they can deal with that. Like, I might just slam it right here. You could have double Torch, I guess, which would be kind of sad. So let's say he has double Torch. I sword this down, double Torch it. They're left with 6 spells in hand, and I only have 5, and one of them is bad. Yeah, I'm just going to continue waiting and hope to get a 2-for-1 of this Harsh Rule so that I can sword face. And if I get to sword face, I'm very optimistic about my chances. It's going to be very tough for them to remove. Okay, well, now I'm just going to do it next turn because I'll have an Aegis to protect from Torch if they do have double Torch. Like, they need triple Torch, and that's getting into the realm of very unlikely. And again, they're not near 7 power yet, so I don't have to act yet. Okay, well, I mean, now I have to act, because they're going to be at 6, then if they drop power, they'll be at 7. Nine cards in hand. It is a thing about not drawing much power. You do have all real cards. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So now, even if by some miracle they kill the Sword of the Sky King, we have Staff of Stories. There's no way they're going to have that much burn. And they are not going to be able to pressure this with units. Like, we have Permafrost, Vanquish, and Harsh Rule to kill Champion or Steward of the Past or 2 things. Felnscar is pretty bad against relic weapons, and so the biggest relic weapon just crushes Felnscar. Like, I can't even get Azendel gifted if he's playing nonsense like Azendel's Gift because of this Aegis. Alright. Everything is coming up aces. Only takes 3 Sword of the Sky King hits and a Torch. So this deck does run a lot of relic weapons, so sometimes you run into the so to say, problem of having a bunch of relic weapons in your hand when you already have one in play. But it's not really a problem, because if you have a relic weapon in play, you're winning. Now I'm just going to attack that rather than harsh rule it. Like, this only puts it down to 4, so it still dies to the same amount of torches. It would still die to Obliterate if they had that. I'm feeling pretty good about the attack with their face with the relic weapon every single turn until they die plan. Yeah, they just have to throw lambs to the slaughter here. Yeah. Withering Witch. Nice. What this does is gain 8 health, deal 1 damage to your opponent's relic weapon. It's like this sword has already killed 3 things, so even though I've drawn a bunch more power, I'm now way, way ahead on resources. Have I mentioned how much I love Sword of the Sky King? Alright, here we're getting double torched. And that is fine. Staff of Stories comes next. Nope. Runehammer comes next. Let's get another multiple for 1 with a relic weapon. Suppose I could also have like staff plus torched, and this staff would still be out of torch range, but I feel like putting on a little pressure now. Oh, this is beautiful. I don't even need to replace my thing to play Staff of Stories. So I'm just going to attack this. It'll naturally kill my Runehammer. And then I drop Staff and start drawing cards. I'm going to hold the Valkyrie. No need to rush it. I'm now ahead in material. Okay, so that's going to get permafrosted because this isn't a weapon that's really made for attacking. Like, 1 a turn is not very much. So I don't need to like clear the way so I can start attacking. So I'll permafrost and then harsh roll when they play their next thing, which does what I was talking about in the intro, where like you want to harsh roll after your permafrost in this deck, so that your relic weapons are free to attack face once you've established control. And I'm wisdoming for power here, and I miss. So do I want to leave these up, or do I want to wisdom for more power? Still didn't find it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. So I don't think they're playing any weapons to the point where I need to like leave up Lightning Strike, but I'm gonna be safe. Never know, I could get Life Drinker or something. And there's only 1 Eye of Winter in this deck as opposed to the original version, which played 3. Because it's just not as good in the metagame anymore. Like, the metagame is sped up a lot. The decks that it used to be super good against, like Stone's Guard midrange, now play a whole bunch of burns, so extending the game forever with Eye of Winter isn't even great anymore. Alright, I'm gonna have to... No, I will not have to discard the hand size. I can just play Eye of Winter. And I might as well fish up Icaria while we're at it. Icaria is going to die to removal, but it just gives me something to attack with. I'm just bursting with options. I think this game is pretty well won at this point. Just a matter of trading them efficiently with our opponent's cards until they're out of cards. We're not in any danger of decking ourselves, especially with all the relic weapons. Icaria Blue never really has to worry about decking control mirrors. Like, you'll relic weapon them down well before then. I'm sad I'm missing my Aegis now. Like I say, I just torch it. When your Aegis dies to a random Vara's favor, and then they get to bloodcast you, it's always sad, but... So our opponent is tapped out here. So I could just double Lightning Storm to take this thing down. Like double Lightning Storm and attack. But I think I'll just freeze it with Eye of Winter. And what else I want to do? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's play a Valkyrie Forcer. Discard a Lightning Storm. I could have Torched Face also, but kind of want to save those just in case. The option of Torched Face is always available. Oh, they stole a Harsh Rule. That's cute. Alright, well, we just have lethal now. Torch Face a couple times, Vanquish that Runehammer. That's even lethal through Torch because you can't Torch Runehammer. Although, I think this is better. Take a screenshot, post to Twitter, give them the bwahaha. It's a little rude, but come on, come on. 15-15 Icaria, you gotta appreciate that. Alright, let's play one more game. That was a fun one. Well, so I have a bunch of early interaction. Torch Sword of Icaria. I'm missing Primal. But we have quite a few Primal Thirsts in our deck. This is very tempting keep. Oh, it's so greedy. I'm gonna keep it. If they're playing aggro, hitting their first two things will buy us time. And if they're playing control, then like Sword of Icaria is gonna be so good. And we're gonna have time to draw into our Primal. Okay. Might be on Shimmer Pack, which is pretty bad for us. Now, instantly rewarded for our greedy keep. It's kind of my night tonight. Well, until I ran against Shimmer Pack. That's not the greatest. So they could have a Lynx here. A Storm Lynx. So if I sword them, they just take 3 and then ambush in Storm Lynx and kill my sword for free. So I'm going to pass. And looks like they do need a Storm Lynx. I'm going to Lightning Storm this just to make my sword better. Also, it's not like there's good targets in a Shimmer Pack deck for small removal spells like Lightning Strike. Oh yeah, play a Talir's Favorite. That's a free Warcry trigger. I'll take it. Oh, Harsh Rule is very good. That is by far our best card here. You kind of need to like Harsh Rule a couple times, hope that they don't draw any Obelisks, and then Icaria to finish off the game to win against Shimmer Pack. Like, it's very rare that you're able to clear off all their units long enough to hit them in the face with relic weapons for 25 damage. But here, like, they're going to play a unit, we're going to sort it down, and then play a staff, and be able to protect that staff with Harsh Rule, so maybe we'll get there today. This game is not looking terrible. Sandstorm Titan is not even a problem, so it's hard to rule it. Man, this card is so bad. Titan just embarrasses it. Right, it sucks that I have to Harsh Rule before Scouting Party here, but Scouting Party is still several turns off. And it's not like I can afford to just take 5 from the Titan while doing nothing for multiple turns until they might have enough power to maybe play Scouting Party. I think that's just not a winning line. Oof. So the question becomes, do we want to do it again? How badly do we want to deal 3 and get a Warcry? Now they might actually have Scouting Party. I'm just going to Harsh Rule and hit him. The upside of them having another small unit that Sword can kill is just so high. And even if they have Party, like, you get to take out 2 of them, so it's only draw 2 cards. If they play Party right here, though, I think I made a mistake. Oh, it comes to play Depleted. Okay. Well, decision validated. Now the question is whether I want to play this Staff of Stories. But I don't think I do. Like, I'd much rather kill a unit with this sword and then play Staff. Like, if they have Scouting Party, I'm going to wish that I had this damage. Yeah. Alright. They don't even get to draw many cards. Kill one. Playing a Frost on a Yeti is basically cycling the Permafrost. Like, they don't get to draw a card, and I use up a card, but like Permafrost has 0 targets. Like, their only big unit is Sandstorm Titan, which can't be Permafrosted. And Lightning Strike, same deal. Like, if I trade a removal spell for a Yeti, that's the best thing I'm going to be able to trade a removal spell for. It's sad I lose my sword, but... Oh no. Alright, well, we have 6 sweepers. Well, not being really punished for those early harsh rules on the Titans. Yeah, it's pretty unwinnable from here. So I got sort of greedy by harsh ruling those Titans so I could hit with the sword, but if they ever played a Amber Acolyte or a Marison's Disciple or something, then like the upside of like hitting that with the sword and then playing Staff is just so high. And like I think you have to take risks to win really bad matchups like this. Well, there's really no point in sense anything. Just kind of for posterity. Alright, so if they just slam with everything, we're taking 5, 6, 7, 8. If they have Shimmer Pack, we are dead. I don't want to go on such a miserable matchup like that, so we're going to play one more game. Just one more. It's so easy to play just one more game. Like, it's so convenient. They're so quick. What a great game, Eternal. We played against Frizette before, but I forget what they're on, so we're going to hope that this hand is good against it. I could go back and review the tape, but that takes a little too much effort. Although, like, against anything we've played against tonight, this is a fine hand. Like, if they're playing Felnscar, if they're playing Rakano. Okay, this is the Rakano, like, the bigger Rakano mid-range type deck. Like, they're still playing Champion of Glory. They're just playing like, a whole bunch of Auric Runehammers. And I assume a bunch of Vanquishes and Harsh Rules, but we never played any units, so we don't know for sure. Torch is such an efficient and powerful card. I mean, it's better when you kill their 2-drop on the draw and then untap and play your 2-drop, which I don't have because I'm not a proactive deck. But it's still like nice to kill that and like have the option. Like here I get to torch that thing and then play Wisdom on my next turn without taking any damage. But I'm actually going to play it end of turn just to scare them. If I have a Lightning Strike, maybe they won't play a Sword of Icaria. Sure. I kind of wish that they had gotten a War Cry so these things were 4/4s. Vanquish them, but I guess Valkyrie Enforcer turns one into a 1/1. Well, I actually prefer to just double Lightning Storm. 2 for 2. They only have 2 cards left in hand. That's on the draw plus Wisdom, so I'm up 2 pieces of material. Okay, Runehammer for that. And then hopefully they don't have another thing and start Runehammering them in the face before they can recover. And it looks like just that is happening. Just that situation I was talking about earlier where you save your Seek power. Once I draw a Fire or a Justice, I will use this to get the other one. So I can cast an Icaria if I draw it. In the meantime, we'll just sit in this holding pattern. I'm going to hold this Valkyrie. I don't need to beat down. I have plenty of answers in my hand. Although I guess not the Champion of Glory, but they've played 3 of those already. I have answers to pretty much anything else. Valkyrie Force also helps they play like Aegis unit, pop it off, and then I can Permafrost or whatever. Do I want to just Runehammer this? Yeah, that's fine. Use up my last Runehammer charge before they draw a torch or something. It's interesting, playing only Ronin. Maybe this isn't the deck I was thinking of, and this is just plain old Rakano Warcry, and they had a really bad draw last time. But this deck is good against plain old Rakano Warcry. Well, with this many answers, I was going to play this. Alright, that's fine. They do the torch. Better they torch the Valkyrie than a weapon. Like, Valkyrie feels bad a lot of times. Like, you need to play it because sounds is so important. But, like, whenever an Icaria Warcry hits it, or, like, that happens, where it's like, well, this is my only proactive card, and it dies to torch. It just feels really bad. Relic weapons don't care about Aegis. Alright, we drew Justice, so I'm going to grab Fire here. And this game, we are in the drafts. Yep, and they concede. Well, that was a fun session. I hope you enjoyed my Icaria Blue video, and I will see you next time. Lights Out Ace, signing off.